Boom, we're back, Squeeze the Neck podcast, and today I think I'm in a place called Chesnut, is that right?
Chesnut, yeah.
Chesnut, Chestnut, okay, no, I'm doing well. Starting already, I'll get your name right now. George Hillyard, thank you very much for doing this, mate. I asked you how to pronounce your name before, and you told me you pronounce it wrong, so you can't fucking get me on this one, but as I say, mate, appreciate you doing this. Pro boxer or former pro boxer? What are we saying at this point? Former pro.
I still do the, I'm still a pro boxer in terms of, I still fight gloved, but it's very rare it comes along, mainly in Europe and all that.
I gotcha.
But I've gone to the bare knuckle, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I do. As mad as it may sound, it's safer than glove boxing.
I believe so, I believe so.
People think you're mental when you say that, but you don't. You either get cut and the cuts are that bad.
Yeah, and your hands, right, I would imagine.
And your hands.
Hands get ripped
don't
up.
Hit on top of the head.
No, right, Right. Don't hit anywhere other than like a soft spot, right? But like when you say that, like you say, I think a lot of people will go, no, it can't be because it just looks more brutal, doesn't it? And you probably get more cuts and whatnot. But I've said this on here before, like for anyone who's ever put a professional boxing glove on your hand, it ain't there to protect your face, it's there to protect my hand, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's a weapon, so it's like... And plus, it's heavy. I think people underestimate that, like punishment to the brain.
Especially when they get wet.
Of course they do. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't realise that.
They don't realise that, and like they think gloves safe, but we're getting to all that, mate. Yeah. But as I say, we met. When did we meet? We met last week, actually, wasn't it? Just before.
Yeah, we actually met before that, though. We met at another Misfit. It was a Misfit show.
Right. Okay. Yes. Right. So we've met, but like, with this, obviously this will come out a bit later, so it won't be last week then. But people get the idea. You boxed on the show at the O2, which was Right to Fight, I believe it was.
Right to Fight
was the thing. Shane Mosley undercard and stuff like that, which we get into as we go. But take us back, mate. Where are you from originally, and how'd you get into boxing?
Well, I'm originally from Canning Town, so how I got into boxing, it all started just where I live now in Dobbsweir Caravan Park. Do you remember Zamo out of Grange Hill?
No, I remember Grange Hill. I'm a bit younger.
Well, the main character in that, called Zamo, Just Say No. Zamo's dad,
Chelsea.
He's throwing water everywhere.
Yeah, that's it, kicking off.
So, Zamo's dad, Roy McDonald, he was the main trainer at Lion Boys Amateur Boxing Club in Hoxton. And I was obsessed, I was football mad.
Okay.
And so he done something to me, I couldn't tell you what he did. And he went, oh, you boxing? So I was like, 10 years later, I went, what's that? And this was in the 6 weeks holidays.
Right.
1994. And he went, you just done that move and you don't know what boxing is. I was like, he went, I want to see your parents. So we're walking over to my parents' caravan and my dad looked out thinking, a parent bringing a child back.
Been naughty, yeah.
I've done something wrong. So my old man's, I say it in a polite way, but my old man's walked out and went, what's he effing done now?
Say what you like on it, mate. You can say it. You're all good.
Yeah, he went, what's he done now? And Roy McDonald, his name was, God bless him. He went, he ain't done nothing wrong. He went, he's just done a move on me that only boxers do. And my dad went, pussy boy him. He went, he's obsessed with a ball. And he went, well, I want him down my gym. This was on a weekend, on a Saturday. He went, I want him down my gym on Monday night. And do you know what? I went down there, and it was like a drug.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously I was playing football for Leighton Orient, Barry Earns.
Oh, okay.
Barry Earns owned Leighton Orient. I was playing football for him, but boxing for Lion Boys, and then I went to St Pancras Amateur Boxing Club, and then ended up signing with Barry to be on his pro show in Goresbrook Leisure Centre, 16th of June 2005. Being 6 seconds off of breaking Mike Tyson's record for the fastest.
I remember you said that at the press conference when I see you, like that, and that stuck with me. That was one of them like lines that stuck with me.
It was just a mad. Next minute, I'm signing a multi-million-pound contract with Matchroom.
Whoa!
It was mad.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and then as quick as I had it all, I lost everything.
Really? Yeah. Which is.
I signed a bit of paper thinking it was to box, and if he said this was yellow, I would have believed him. But I can't say names because they're part of the documentary and I can get sued and
right.
Yeah, so.
But that's mad because like, did you come from a boxing family? I take it you didn't come from a boxing family then.
My mum's dad boxed.
Right.
My uncle George. Yeah. Both Georges. All of us are Georges.
All George.
Yeah, all Georges. So they boxed, but That was it. No other boxing.
Nothing spectacular or like world champions in your family or nothing like that. But you got. But it's funny you say that. Like the first thing that comes to mind when you was telling that story was like Ricky Hatton. Have you ever heard Ricky Hatton talk about his boxing career? It's similar to that, isn't it? He says like someone see him and he did something and they said he's special, blah blah blah. But was you good straight away or did you?
Oh yeah. Well, I remember I went into the gym at Lion Boys and. There was all these other pro boxers in there. Charlie Magwood was in there.
Was he?
Yeah,
Still going? Yeah.
No, but he was training Tok Solowawa.
Okay. I remember that guy. Yeah.
So all the.
So Charlie's obviously not boxing himself at this point, right? He's retired.
Charlie's retired.
Yeah.
He was training boxers.
Right.
And he had a cruiserweight champion up there as well that was boxing for Maloney Promotions at the time and Frank Ryan. And it was just a mad turn of events, and I just got there and I see how the boxers were getting treated, and I was a short, fat little kid. Was you?
And what was you 10 at the time?
10. Yeah.
So you're too young to even have a proper bout at that point.
So I couldn't. I was 4 months off of being 11 to have a fight.
Right, to get your ME3 card and all that business. Right.
So they went, right, we're going to get him a medical, get him all booked up for his fighting, and I think I had my first fight in November. I think it was the 26th. My birthday was on November the 19th.
Oh, right. So literally, you're probably one of the youngest people to ever box. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like my birthday coming, I went. And then my first 3 fights, I won them, but the referees gave it to the other. And then I was just like, they was like, listen, we're going to...
But that's common also in amateur boxing. For anyone listening who don't know, is going, oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
So
a hell of a lot.
I was... They trained me then. They was like, you can't thinking, I'm easing this, popping jabs out, and just you just got to keep going for 3 rounds, like just. And then I went on for like 17 fights after that, undefeated.
Which is mad. In the amateurs, that's mad, isn't it?
Mad,
You don't get it.
But it was my determined. So I had a record of 20, 17 wins, 3 losses.
3 losses, yeah.
And my first 3 losses were my first 3 fights.
Yeah.
But then after that, it got into the bigger stage, like where you got, you know what I mean? And I started getting to nationals, and it's completely computer scoring, and I pretty much like what happened the other night. Mm-hmm. You know, when you jab someone's head off and you block all their shots, and then they get scored points. So
that's the game. It's dirty business, isn't it? Dirty business.
Crazy. Yeah. Like, as I said the other night, everyone was like, "What was everyone watching there?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even the commentators were like, and the referee went to me, I thought you won it.
Well, I mean, the other night specifically, we'll get into it more, but like, I think there's a lot of the other night was just more people not knowing what the fuck they're looking at, right? Yeah. There was a lot of that. There was some people I was standing at ringside with, and they was chatting about this, and they went, oh, he done this and that. And you know, when you're looking at them going, what's this, the first time you've ever seen boxing? Yeah. Like, fucking, you're getting this so wrong, it's not even funny. But in the amateurs, and even with kids, like you said you felt you won your first 3, and that happened so often. I was Nemesis Boxing Club.
Yeah.
So I was out in Nemesis. I boxed a long time ago. I was about 18 at the time. But there was a kid on the card from Repton who was probably like just starting. Like, he looked about 8, but he must have been 11, right? But he boxed this kid's head off, all slick, Philly shell, all this business, and they give it to the other kid.
Yeah.
And that was one of them that stuck with me because I'd lost that night on points when I thought I'd won 2. And I'm looking at it, you know, when you go, something's off here. You just got. I think you just got to accept what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's so politics though in the game. Is
right.
They can go like when I was because I used to get in the ring with England shorts on, like the British flag.
Right.
And straight away the judges used to go, don't like them shorts.
Yeah, flash you and all that you get, don't you?
And you're like, it's just a pair of shorts.
It's just shorts, yeah.
Pretty much like the other night. When they went to me, your ring entrance was a bit flash because I had Simon Cowell's dancers dance and sing me in. They were like, I'm like, what? That's a part of the entertainment. This is what boxing's about, entertainment world.
Especially on them shows like that,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. And I just stood there, I didn't like your ring entrance. I stood there thinking, and that's why you
That's why you went against me, yeah. That's wrong, isn't it? It's moody, isn't it? But there was one of the geezers who rapped himself out, wasn't there? Like later on in the show. Did you see that? There was a geezer who come out like singing his own song.
Oh, sorry,
to the ring. I forget which one it was, but there was one of the fighters on the rapped and he got away with it.
But it was mad. And then I think one of the judges was like, oh, you think you can just turn up? You're getting all fat and get in the ring fat and just turn up because you think you're good. I went, no, mate. Why even make that comment?
Yeah. But I think some of them people that say that, they're just like, They're so snarled up and hate their own life,
just,
don't they? They just want to say something, you know?
And I was like, so you're not, you took a dislike to me straight away.
Yeah, right.
You're not even here to judge the fight.
No.
Whether I win it or not, if I knocked him out, you would have gave it a draw.
Yeah, that's it. You get that. You do get that.
It's like it was crazy.
I didn't see the judges, but like sometimes you go to the show, especially back in the day, like when you started before me, obviously, but like when I was boxing and stuff. Sometimes you look at ringside and the judges were. I mean, they look like they can barely see. They look like they're about 95 years old. And you know, they score it one way and you go, I think they've just pushed the red button. They don't know which one's won anyway, which was an issue as well. Exactly. But the scoring's changed now in the amateurs, isn't it? They score it more like pros now, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Which is better. So I think it's got to be more beneficial.
Because before it was, out of 4 judges, or 3 judges, sorry, 2 judges have got to press the button the same
within a
time.
second or something, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Second.
Yeah. Which you can't have that. And also, when I was around that time, I think they were changing the rounds too. Sometimes it was 3-3, sometimes it was 4-2s. Yeah. And it was like certain years when the Olympics was on, they'd change the weight divisions too. So like if you was going through like Southwest London qualifiers or something like that.
Well, that's what happened to me.
Right, because they took all, because when I was doing it at the time, like I was either, if they did 71 at the time, I could do 71, but it was hard. I couldn't do 69, so it would be 75 if there was no 71 category. But sometimes they took it out, and it was like, it was one of them jobs. But
that was the same because I was 69.
Right.
And then I went, so I qualified for 2004 Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Then they went, I can't remember his name now, who they chose. Tony Cisse.
Right, okay.
And they went, we're going to, Silk
okay.
from Liverpool.
Right, okay. This was the same Olympics as Amir Khan went to, right?
Yes,
4 years ago before.
And so we was all at training camp, and they went, we're not going to. They went, we just don't like you. You're just a bit too pro. We went like
style-wise, you mean,
yeah, style-wise. I went, we just want someone picking off, using their jab more. We went, not hitting and trying to get in there to knock them out. And so it was all politics again.
It's wrong though, isn't it? Like there's so much politics in amateur boxing. Like, it's unbelievable. Like when you hear stories, like obviously some of the people I was in the club with, Elsfield, they was like on GB squads and stuff like that. But they were on, I think it was called the development squad, right? They had the podium and the development. And like one of the guys had, without mentioning names to sound like you're shitting on people, but he was in the development squad and he'd beat the guy in the podium squad twice in box off. But because they'd favoured this geezer already, they kept him on the podium squad.
Well, I won't say name, but I beat a Repton twice and then beat a Trojan boy who was multiple championship. He won everything. And I beat him and then they still went bam and picked the Repton boy. Yeah.
They have their favourites, don't they? They have their favourites.
What we got to do here?
Yeah. But sometimes I think it's one of them where you just got, you have to go, they're going to pick him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
you've got to get on with it.
I went, I'm not going to sit here another year and waste another year. I'm just going to turn pro.
Yeah, and how old are you now, George?
I'm 40 now.
Right, and when you turned pro, you was what age?
21.
So still young enough to stay on for another Olympic cycle if you wanted to, but you just...
Totally.
But I tell you what I've noticed with people like that, they get to the point where it's like, I just don't want to sit in the amateurs for another 4 years. It's like demoralising, isn't it? Like, other than the payment thing.
Because what it was as well was, then I started mixing. Like, remember Jimmy Mack? You know Jimmy Mack. I was training with Danny Williams, Tox Solowola. All the American boys were coming over because I boxed for Kronk.
Right. Okay.
In London, St Pancras Kronk.
Yeah.
Then I see all the pros coming over and all that, and everyone. I was like, everyone started walking in the gym in Rolls Royces, coming up with Bentley, like Rolex watches, and I see all this, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I want a part of this now. Right.
And especially back then, right? Because there weren't like, whereas today, I think everyone gets to sort of like a certain level of boxing. They've already got a lot of money, innit? Whereas in them days, you had to really win something properly.
Yeah, nowadays, social media's... You get everything given to you.
And it's on TV all the time now as well. Like back in the day, if you said to me you was boxing on Saturday and we're talking like 2005, like it was hard to watch you, wasn't it? It was like, where am I going to watch it? You can't buy a ticket.
It was only Sky Sports or buy a ticket.
Right.
And 9 out of 10 didn't have Sky Sports.
Yeah, right.
So where did everyone go? They went down the pub and watched it.
And I'll tell you the other thing as well that sticks in my mind from that sort of time was like someone would be on Sky Sports, they didn't know what time they was boxing. Yeah. So you'd turn it on and you know, it's like this boring bouts, you'd go somewhere else, fucking hell, I've missed him.
Well, that was the same, my pro debut, they went, because I sold Goresbrook Leisure Centre, I sold it out. Because I'm from Canning Town, it was right on the doorstep. Right. So everyone, we sold, Barry Owens was impressed because we had thousands of people there. And I think it only holds 12 or 1,300 people. It weren't a big, it's like Goresbrook Leisure Centre.
Right,
So he had all the TV everywhere, and I sold nearly 700 tickets just on my own.
Right.
So it was, and then obviously my they went, we'll put George on last, and then my ring entrance was longer than my fight.
Right.
So it just blew up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was just it was a good introduction into the professional game.
Because that's interesting as well, getting a knockout early. Because a lot of people turn pro, they go for a few points decisions, don't they?
Exactly,
because them tough journeymen, they're there for they want to fight next week, don't they?
Well,
so they don't get stopped.
I never forget it. Barry Earns was sitting ringside, and Barry Earns went, "It's probably one of the best shots I've seen in the last 15 years."
Nice. That's nice, isn't it? That's nice
then
to
he
hear.
went, "I want you in my gym on." This was a Friday. When I want you in my gym on Monday morning, and then he went, "Right, I'm giving you the same contract as Chris Eubank Senior." I was like, "What's that?" He went, 15 million over 5 years. I stood there. This is the constant truth. I half wet myself a little bit. I stood there. I looked at my trainer, and you know when you just see the biggest grin, I was like, he went, "Right, I'm going to give you X, Y, Z every month, so you can get to the gym every." And I was just sitting there thinking, right. And then they went, "Right." We went, "Next month, I'm putting you in Scotland in Gosbrook against the Irishman." He went, "This is a tough fight for you." He went, "You won't be knocking him out." He went, "This will take you the rounds." And I got up there, and he come run at me, and I thought, slipped it, right and left hook, and knocked him out. You know what I mean? It was like, that was 1 minute 13 seconds.
And what weight are you turning pro at?
Welterweight / light middle.
Right.
So I was around between 68 and 69.
Because you don't get an awful lot of knockouts in them weight divisions, do you?
No.
Like from sort of middle, super middle ups, when you start seeing regular knockouts, really. I mean, at the top level it's different, but like a lot of people turning over, like it's points, one knockout, points.
So then there was like, "You're going to cost us too much money to get people to fight you." I went, "We're going to put you in against Ernie Smith." And I was like, "Yeah, no problems, mate." And I went, foolishly, I went on Sky Sports. I went, "I'll be the first to knock him out." He didn't stop my body shots, but I'll be the first to knock him out. Wow. This is at your call. Once again, we've sold this place out.
Yeah.
And he come running at me, and I hit him with the biggest right hand. And he went, "Good shot, son." Winked at me and went, "Good shot, son." And kept talking to me the whole way through the fight. So all I did was, I kissed him on the cheek to say his face was a mess.
Yeah. How many rounds is this bout?
4 rounds.
4 rounds, so short, yeah.
So obviously it's pro, like, and so my beginning of my pro is my third fight. And so I kissed him on the cheek to say, "Look, you ain't." And then Mr. Cook, the referee, went bam, attempted bite. At the end of the fight, went bam and give Ernie Smith and it kicked. I was just like, I feel like I'm in the amateurs all again. I mean, and then Ernie Smith got out of the ring. He come into my change room. He went, "Right, listen, get the promotional team." He went, "This is what we've got to do." He went, "I'll let you fight me again." He went, "But you can't knock me out." I went, "No, mate, you can't. No." I went, "That's what I'm in here for." He went, "No." He went, "Because otherwise it stops me earning a wage the next week."
The next week, right, yeah.
Yeah, he went, "Because they give me 28 days where I can't fight."
Right.
And I was sitting there thinking, what? I said, I ain't got a clue what the rules are.
Yeah.
So, as I do now. But it was a introduction into the...
pro game, yeah. Well, I say the amateur games, like pro game, you've got money involved, so it's even more dirty, isn't it? But like...
Well, but saying that, in the amateurs, I then got sponsored by Leighton. When Cronk come in, I got sponsored by the Lennox Lewis Academy. So
right.
Lennox Lewis was giving me, not a lot of money, but I was 16, giving me 75 quid a week.
Yeah, I mean, you're rich at that point, right?
Yeah,
16.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
It was just, and he was paying for my travels, so I had 75 quid a week.
And bear in mind, we're going back 20 years as well.
Yeah,
So, do you know what I mean?
I was like, it went a long way.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone thought I was a rich boy. It was mad how times have changed.
Yeah.
So, But it was a good time.
But I'll tell you what's mad is when you stand in Barry Hearn's office, you said at the time, right? And he said to you, have 15 million over 5 years and you've half-wet yourself. That's like a...
It was just, and he went the same contract as Chris Eubank Senior. And I was like, what's that?
You weren't expecting 15 million to come out of his mouth.
He went, "I'm giving you the same contract, that's what..." And I'm like... It was just mad.
Yeah. And if we step back a step before you turned pro, what did you end up achieving in the amateurs?
Right, so I got to the finals of everything, and then always got... I got to the finals with one ABA's, got disqualified. Well, both us boxers.
Why? What for?
Because I hit him with a right hand and he held me. He kept holding me. Yeah. So all I did was threw him off me. Right. So the referee disqualified him and me. So then I beat John Wayne Hibbett in the semis. So John Wayne Hibbett went on and and ended up.
That's a fucking that's
mad.
mental, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
because
I tell you what, back then as well, like not that we keep saying back then like we're two dinosaurs, but it was different. Like there was like referees would get arsey, wouldn't they? And like they had more. I feel like I don't want to say they had more power, but they would do things like that. They would disqualify people. And go, no, that's it. I'm not having that in my ring. Whereas now I feel like there'd be a bit more like common sense, and they'd go. Clean it up, boys, eh? Do you know what I mean? Exactly, like disqualify both in the ABA final, smoothly.
Yeah, it was, and this was in Gloucestershire. So I went out there, and so me, like Ricky, his name was from that way, and it was crazy. It's crazy because I hit him with a right hand, he was gone, and he just grabbed hold of me, so I couldn't get off of it. So all I did was I just threw him off of me, and he went outside the ring, and he went box it in, grabbed both our hands, and I thought I was going to put my hand up, thinking that he stopped it, and he went. Both boxers disqualified.
Fucking hell, get a hobby, fuck.
Yeah, and then John Wayne Hibbert got a buy in because he like,
that's mad.
Yeah, it was just like.
But how's he feel also? Do you know what I mean? He's going, I'm an ABA champion, but really I lost in the semis. Yeah, that's no good for anyone, is it? All three of you have lost. But
But it was crazy. It's crazy.
Because there's some bad decisions in the ABA finals. I was in the ABA. I believe, if I'm wrong on this one. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident. It was 2011. It was out in Essex somewhere, in Brentwood, I think, or Colchester somewhere. I don't know. But they. Lewis Adolphi, my club mate, was in the ABA final and boxed. I think his name was Danny Phillips. He beat him. He beat him quite clearly, and they gave it to the other guy. And it was just like.
That was. I remember exactly what you wanted. That was in Colchester.
It was Colchester. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think it was in Colchester.
Yeah, Colchester Civic Hall. Yeah.
That's what it was. Bang on.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Because the only reason I know it was 2011 for sure, actually, was because. 2012 was the next year when we had 3 winners from the same club, and that was the year after he won. He did win it then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But funny times, and it's funny when you go to them things, and there's like you see kids of all different ages, don't you? In the ABA, I say all different ages, from sort of 17-ish up, don't you? But they're in them ABA finals. You know what it's like sometimes. There's kids that look like they're 12, even though they're 17. They're fighting at light weights or whatever, and then there's geezers in there that are like 30 with a full beard and a hairy chest, boxing each other, and you get all that. Yeah,
mad. Crazy.
Because they've upped the age now as well, haven't they? Like when I was boxing, I think you had to be under 34 or something. Now it's 40 as an amateur.
Oh, I thought it's 42.
Oh, it might be now. It might be now. But they put it up at one point. But it was 34 when I was boxing.
It was 34. Yeah.
But I remember being 18 and I boxed a 34-year-old. Yeah. And like thinking about him as like how I'd look at a 50-year-old now and going, fuck, he's old.
Do you know what? It was when I remember I boxed him at Camden Irish Centre.
Right.
And it was on a club show as well. And it was my first senior fight though. And then when I got in the ring, I looked at him, and even on the video, it looked like it was a boy against a man.
Yeah.
Even though I stopped him. I stopped him in the second round, and like just on pure quickness.
Yeah.
And then, but he looked like a boy and a man.
That's a massive difference, isn't it? 34 to like I'm 34 now. Like looking at an 18-year-old, it's a boy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like it's not to say they can't beat you, but looking at them is fucking is a big thing, isn't it? But like, what happened to you after was it your third fight? You said you lost that one.
Yeah, I lost that one. Yeah. So then I went on for a little like a winning streak. Then I boxed Marcus Portman from Birmingham.
Okay.
And then I changed over with Tony Sims when I started training with Tony Sims, and he was like, "Listen, that was my last fight with Matchroom Sport.
Right.
Come over to Hennessy Sports with us because he was with Hennessy Sports and Darren Barker and Cole Froch and the whole team. So he went come over with us. So that's what I ended up doing. But Marcus Portman ended up beating me on points and." A bit like the other decision, it was like never in a million years. Like, how can you score just because he's throwing loads of punches? It's about hitting and not getting hit. You can't score someone because they're throwing 100 punches but only land 2.
Right,
Do you know what I mean? It's boxing's about hitting and not getting hit. And so that's why I went with Tony Sims, and then we went on a little winning streak, and I ended up winning the British Masters.
Right,
like
okay.
Middleweight title with it.
Nice.
So and then won the WBU International. Then I won the WBC Confederation World title. So so we had a little, mate. It was
a good little run, And like, what age did you stop boxing as a pro? Because did you say it was something to do with your brain thing?
Yeah, well, I went. I was meant to fight Bradley Price for the Eliminator on a Matchroom show, Eliminator for the British and Commonwealth and European title.
And how many fights in you at this point?
17.
17 as a pro, so very experienced at this point. 2
losses and 1 draw. And at the time, And so they went, right, give you Bradley Price, Eliminator for, but he's already won them titles, but he's coming back. I mean, after I think it was a Price fight, we was all in at the time as well. And then they went, well, you got to do your medical. And at that year, 2011, everyone was having some kind of, there's like 3 or 4 boxers that ended up falling very ill in the boxing ring. And there was a change in my brain scan, and they went, we're not going to renew your licence.
Jesus Christ.
And a lot of boxers that happened to.
Yeah. Do you think they was being extra careful because some people are
it
like,
was.
yeah.
But then he said to me, you need to go and see a specialist just for clarity, like to clarify it all. So I went to see a specialist, costing us absolute thousands of pounds. Got sponsors to pay for it all, and we got it all. So, and we passed it all. So I phoned him, Robert Smith, who's still in charge of the British Boxing World Cup. And if I'm honest, he's an absolute arsehole.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I called him to say, listen, I've passed everything, it's all good to go. And he went, Mr. Hillyard, you don't call me, I call you. And I was like, Rob, this is about my career. I went, I want to push on now. I went, I've messed about, lost a lot of money, lost it. I went, I've got a couple of years yet, I just want to crack on. And he went, as I said, you don't call me, I call you. And I foolishly said, I went, listen, when I see you next, I'm going to smash you straight in the face.
Yeah.
And his words were to me, as long as I'm in charge of the British Boxing Board of Control, I mean, you're never going to have your licence back.
Oof.
And he kept to his word.
Oh, really? Shit. Yeah.
So that's when I went to America with the Mayweathers.
Right.
I signed with Bieber. That's when I won the WBU title. And then, and it was just like, but every time that a big title come up, I was meant to fight someone, he'd put a stop to it.
Just, there's no need for it, is
Yeah, but he'd tell that boxer, if you fight George Hillyard, you can't fight him.
Oh, he does it that way, right? You lose your licence sort of thing.
No, you can't fight on the British Boxing Board of Control show.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
And everyone wants to fight on the British Boxing Board of Control show just because of the money.
Right. And how old are you at this point when you're telling him this?
27, 28.
Yeah, so you're not even in your prime yet. So you're at the point where it's like you're still on the rise.
I was just.
Yeah, and you've got, what did you, when you say you went to America, did you move to America?
Yeah, I moved to America. I moved to Las Vegas with the Mayweathers.
Oh, wow, okay, Jesus.
Yeah, so we was there. It was a bit surreal, mate.
When you say with the Mayweathers, like you're around them properly, you're in their company?
Yeah, Jeff Mayweather was my coach.
Oof.
Yeah, so he's fantastic, and you see why they're successful.
Yeah, and sorry, just to stop you there, like when you go back, like when you turned pro, was you a full-time pro from the off, or did you just have to work?
I was
which is a big help on it, do you know what I mean? A
I
lot of people ain't.
I had a lot of backing.
Right, because a lot of people ain't, are they? I think a lot of people don't realise that. When you turn pro, you're pro in name, but really you're a scaffolder in the week, you know what I mean?
No, but that's what I said. That my pro debut, I'm lucky, I'm a big ticket seller.
Right.
So when I turned pro, we sold like 500 tickets just on my pro debut, and then I had sponsors growing out my ears.
Yeah, right.
I walked in like I did the other night, built like a billboard.
Yeah.
Just stickers plastered all over me, and then ended up knocking my opponent out in 42 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I said, being 6 seconds off of breaking Mike Tyson's record, it just went. And Barry Earns went, yeah, I want you in my office, mate. Like. Didn't think nothing of it.
You're almost like at 21. I think it's almost lost on you a bit because you're too young to sort of realise the gravity of it, isn't you?
Do you know what? Exactly that. Exactly that. It was hard. It was. I didn't really grow up.
Right.
Like, hard to explain really to where I want to put it in, but everything happened so quick, and like money was going missing everywhere.
Right. Oh, well, okay.
Like, and at the time, I thought I had a cock like King Kong.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you think, God, I've got all this money. You do.
Yeah.
And then you realise your cock ain't that big, and you ain't got all that money now, and you're sitting there like with egg on your face. It was horrible. It was horrible, and then everyone else around you are there pouncing off you.
Yeah. Chronic. Like, you see it, don't you?
They're like, bye.
Yeah. Not your mate anymore. Yeah.
Not your mate no more. You can't benefit me no more. It was hard.
But also, like when you turn pro, like nowadays, I think it's a bit different because again of social media. People have got people looking after them all the time, haven't they? But like, if you was 21, then let's just say for argument's sake, you earned 40 grand. Yeah. You'd spend 40 grand, right? You're not thinking about that as looking at like your tax, what's got to come out.
This is exactly that. But think about this: when I first turned pro, there was no social media.
Nothing. No.
Like It didn't come out until like 2011, 2010, 12. That's when it really hit off, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I ain't got a clue how to use this stuff.
Right.
I mean, just about spell my own name.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, all suddenly you're sitting there thinking, shit, this is a new world, and the kids are coming up, and they're like, yeah, I just got 10 grand for that post. I'm like, oof.
Well, that used to what I used to hear as well, like around that sort of time from like my mates in the club, mates. I mean, that sort of turning over, and they'd been pro for a while, and there's guys coming behind them that weren't as good as them as boxers, that were earning more money. I remember that was causing a lot of frustration to people. Like people was going, well, fucking, I beat him 4 times in the amateurs. If it don't matter, he's doing X, Y, Z. Do you know what I mean? And that was a thing, and it was causing a lot of problems with people, wasn't it?
Well, do you know what? Talking like that, you think about what happened last weekend.
We can get into that.
When I was like, oh, these 2 influencer boxers are on there. They've got like millions of followers, and my mum and dad were like, who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Sorry to swear.
No, so mate. Good.
And it's like, who are these?
Yeah.
But, and then my mum was like, they're meant to be influencer boxers, and it all kicked off outside between their fans, so the police stopped them all coming in.
Yeah, right.
All right? And that's why it was my fans, lucky enough, I sold the place out.
Right.
So it was just like, them influencers were like, doesn't matter. We've got what we've needed for filming.
Yeah, we've got our content now. We're out. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, what? Yeah. My dad was like, you kids are in a different planet to us.
It's funny, isn't it? I think it was funny when you see on them shows. Like, and again, listen, I'm not knocking anyone. They're getting in there. They're doing their thing.
Cool.
But there's some kids on that card that are quite high up on the card, and again, without mentioning names, because it ain't all of them. Some of them can box a bit, but there's some on there that are giving it the big end and there, whatever. And you look at them and you go, there's literally, I'm not exaggerating, there's 52 kilo 14-year-olds in boxing clubs that could ping your head off. But you don't realise it. But that's no problem. Yeah. But the problem is you don't realise it. Do you know what I mean? And you're giving it.
That's the scary thing about it. People can get seriously hurt.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
And but once again, it's like people are like, oh yeah, but he's got like 1 million followers on Instagram, TikTok. I'm like, what the fuck?
What does that mean? Yeah. But one of the guys that was next to me, it was his mate, and again, I won't mention the names because fair play, he got in there, they was boxing, right? But like he was going, he's doing this, he's gonna be like acting like as if he's gonna be a world champion. And you know, when you're standing there, I'm being polite, you don't know what he's talking about. Not the sharpest pencil in the box, but I'm standing there talking to him, and he's going, he's gonna do this, then he'll do this. And I'm standing there thinking, well, for starters, he probably wouldn't get put out for an amateur bout from a club. They wouldn't card him up for starters. But like, it's hard because you go. They've got a lot of influencers, right? So they're bringing eyes to it. And listen, it's a brave thing to do to step in the boxing ring. You know this, right?
Yeah, totally.
So, and if they're fighting someone at their level, it's a brave thing to do, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But where they don't realise where they're at, I find that quite difficult. Do you know what I mean? Because
exactly I didn't even know he was there. Like we're talking about Roy Jones Jr. now. He was at the fight, and he just walked up to me after. He went, "How they gave that fight to him?" He went, "You English people don't know how to score." He went, "He's hitting your arms," and he went, "They're scoring it as punches." Yeah. He went, "You're just jabbing his head off." Yeah. And I was like, he went, "That's why I will never box in the UK." Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I'll never box in the UK. And I was like, he went, because that was just shocking.
Yeah. That's mad.
Like, He went, look at your face. Look at his face.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we're sitting here now as we're doing this. What are we? 4 days after the fight?
4 days, yeah. 4
you
days,
don't look like you've boxed at all. You've got
no
mark.
A clash of heads.
A little bit, but you could pass that off as a shadow with the light. I wouldn't even notice it. Do you know what I mean?
So, like, and it was just like it was. But as I said, I sold just under 400 tickets that night, and as they pronounced the verdict of that fight, everyone just got up and started walking out. You could hear Spencer say. Spencer Oliver, he was commentating for the TV and for TalkSport, and he just said, everyone's walking out before the main event's even coming on.
And the main event, for anyone who doesn't know, we're talking about a Hall of Famer, right? This is like a big deal.
Yeah,
Floyd, Cotto, Canelo, Oscar, he beat Oscar De La Hoya twice.
He beat Oscar De La Hoya, he's like an all-time great.
all-time great.
People were that upset by that, what they see that out of my decision. They went, I'm going.
It's mad, isn't it? And you know Spencer Oliver personally, you said as well, don't you? I met him recently, great guy. So if this finds you, Spence, shout out, mate. Hope
Spencer,
you well.
He's a great fighter himself.
He was, yeah. A bit before my time. I've sort of seen his career, like, in hindsight, like, after it's over.
I used to watch him growing up. His family run Finchley Boxing Club.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Okay.
So, fantastic trainers.
Yeah,
and that's why that's why he's so close to Anthony Joshua.
Right, okay, I didn't realise that.
And a team like that. So, shocking decision.
Yeah, lovely guy. And I'll tell you a side note on Spencer Oliver. I was at Wembley recently at one of the press days for the Usyk Dubois, and me and him was in a lift together. So I don't want to say I wasn't stuck in a lift, but he was a bit stuck in a lift for 30 seconds with me. So apologies if I was on there, but no, great guy. And like going on to Roy Jones as well. Roy Jones was, like, for me, is the GOAT of boxing, right? And like to be around him like that's quite mad because he's so like approachable. It's like talking to you now. Like he just has a chat with you. Do you know what I mean? And he's great guy.
That's what really like for him to come up to. I didn't even know he was there. As I said, and for him to come up to me after the fight and say, "Listen, you won that fight." He went, "I don't know what to say." He went, "There's nothing for me to say." He went, "But I'm telling you, you won that fight."
Yeah.
He went, "Your boxing skills." He went, "You can lose some timber." Like, cheers, mate. You can lose some weight.
Should have said to him, "So could you, Roy."
He went, "You can lose a bit of weight." He went, "But he went, you got a beautiful jab."
Yeah.
And he said, "And that's what won you the fight." He went, "But how do people score it here?" He went.
But at least they got it right. At least they got it right, right? It could have gone the other way, and then it'd have been like, "Fuck me," you know.
Obviously, the two judges are more influencer judges.
Right.
The proper judge, British boxing border control judge, Ian John Lewis, gave me every round.
Yeah, right.
Where the influencers gave it to the other fella,
right,
who come in at 2 hours' notice.
Yeah.
So it's like weighing 5 kilograms heavier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's like.
It's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what it is.
But I said my boxing skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what you get though, innit? Them on them
mate.
shows.
Yeah,
but like, you know, and I'll tell you again, going on like with Roy Jones and being there, it like. Because when you see him on TV, like I've seen Roy Jones like since I was like literally a kid, right? Watching him and he's whatever. But then like he's there, it's like he's not that big in terms of size, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially he's not much different size-wise to me, in terms of frame. And I was looking at him and like, you know, when you're watching someone and you're going like, he fought at heavyweight. He won the heavyweight belt. Like how
Remember, he's gone from
on there?
Light middle to middle to super middle to light heavy.
Yeah. Skip cruiser. He went back. He went to cruiser after, but he went from light heavy,
you're right,
light
you're
heavy, back to light heavy, and then as he got older, he went to cruiser. But like he's
and he's not a big man.
No, he's not at all.
But he's fit. He's thick set.
Yeah, he is. Right, he is.
But saying that, talking about when I first met Mike Tyson, I couldn't believe how small he was.
Really, yeah. Everyone says that. I've never met him.
I'm only 5'10". He's the same height as me, like probably an inch taller.
Yeah.
But his thickness, but he's got this aura around him that you think any second he's going to blow.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've never met him, but someone, I can't remember who it was, but they said when they met him, they said it's like being around, you know, like a trained lion. You know, where you're fairly okay, but at any moment you're like, don't get too close.
You do. You think in a minute you get this. He's going to go. Isn't he? He's going to go. So you know when you are on edge around him.
Yeah. Like that was my boxing hero. Mike Tyson for me was like everything. I used to watch his fights over and over again. I'd love to meet him. I ain't met him yet, but he's. Everyone says that about him. He's surprisingly small or short. They say not small. He's not small.
But he's thick.
Right.
Like as tall he is, he's wide.
He's that wide. Yeah.
Yeah. But once again, he's so even now like so sharp.
Yeah.
And like he's quick on the ball. Like, but he's
careful around. Well, they say, don't they, in his day, like how true it is. You hear things, don't you? They say like in his day, he paid like £10 million in the 80s, or $10 million, in the 80s, as like out of court settlements for things for just constantly popping off.
Remember, Well, I got when I moved to America to Vegas, then you start hearing a lot of stories that go on like around, and they were like, well, back in '94, he paid someone like he beat someone up outside of a nightclub. But it's in the film now, so that's why I think they're talking about it.
Right.
Like him beating up another boxer, and apparently seriously.
Yeah.
And they went, he was going to go to court, and they was going to take his license away. So they ended up paying like $11 million dollars to stop it all going.
Okay,
and that boxer ain't even boxed it like.
No, he's took that 11 million.
Yeah, of course.
And
I think I would have done the same.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But that's the world now.
Yeah. But also, you've got to think that 11 million to him at that particular period in time was probably like fell out of his pocket.
Yeah.
Like, leave it, don't worry about it.
He was what, $500 million all day long?
It was mad money. Mad money he was
money.
earning. Yeah, especially that. I wish if people say, like people say, if you could go to one fight in history and watch it, like I always say, even though it wasn't a great fight, just for like the situation, I pick the Tyson Spinks fight. Like, like the 90-second.
I would have gone Tyson Holyfield.
Yeah, okay. But he was past his prime a little bit. Yeah, and I don't like it.
But it was just the way, the aura around it.
Yeah, I got you.
And I think they both were past their prime at that time. So it made it more interesting to.
Yeah.
But definitely.
That one, I think, like, because there's I can't remember again. I fucking can't remember anyone. Oh, it's Dom Herrera, a comic. Yeah. He was on Joe Rogan. He said he was there for that fight, and he said it was like watching the devil crawl out of the middle of the earth. He said you could see smoke coming out of his nostrils. He said no one was going to beat him that night. Like, it was like a scary thing, But I wish I was there. I'm too young, obviously. But like going forward now, like with your sort of what you're doing now with the boxing stuff, we'll circle back and go into the bare knuckle stuff in a minute, mate. But what's your plans here at 40? You still want to fight? You still going forward?
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm fit. I still want to. It might even be my next fight. I just want to do a couple of things that I'm happy with. I retire when I want to retire.
Right.
But I'm still enjoying it. I still love being in the ring. I still love being in the gym. It's the best place for me. It keeps me like in check, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because otherwise, you know what us boxing fighters are like. You go off on one and you go on a bender for like in 6-7 weeks. I mean, and like, I don't want to be doing that.
No, well, I find if I'm not in the gym, I find I'm not nice to be around. You know what I mean? I'm like,
oh, that is just me.
I need to be training twice a day or whatever. You know what I mean? Whether it doesn't have to be a fight coming up. It just needs to be doing something constant to sort of keep me chill. You know, I don't want to say that to sound like a fucking head case, but
that's what you have to be careful nowadays. Like when you say things like, "Oh, well, you think you're hard, man?" Like,
I don't mean it that way, but I'm just for my own sanity. I need to be training constantly.
Do you know what? That's men in general, though.
I think so, yeah.
Not just
particular type of man. I think a particular type of man.
Exactly. Well, not just boxers, fighters, but people that like just to keep you know.
Yeah, you got to have something. I think you have something to do to sort of like you know what it's like. If you go to the gym, I'll give you an example. I did a water fast recently, so like 3 days no food, right? So at the end of it, I did a podcast and I was feeling a bit like I was okay, but I was starting to feel like right, I'm really ready to eat. I felt weak, but I thought, you know what, fuck, I'm just gonna go and have a little light workout on the bag and like just to ease in and whatever. But first round I was plodding. Second round, you know, Rocky music's in the ears. You start to turn it up a little bit. Third round, I'm pinging that bag like it's like the fight of my life. Yeah. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I'll do some pull-ups. Then I'll do some push-ups. Before you know it, I've had a mad workout and I'm sweating and whatever. Exactly. And it's just like that for me is like I didn't want to do it necessarily before. I forced myself to do a little bit, and like we've all been there, right? Once the wheels start turning,
but imagine if there's more people doing that. The world we are in today won't be in the world we are.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The shit the kids on the street now carrying knives and all that. We won't be doing all that.
But I think we've got a lazy generation is the
totally.
thing. And I don't mean that again to sound like an old man like in my day. I don't mean that. But I mean
you're bang on.
But I think like nowadays
social media
it is social media, but it's not the kids' fault. It's lazy parenting is what I'm getting at.
Totally.
The kids do whatever the kids do, right? But if a parent goes kids playing up a bit indoors. Back in the day, it was go out and play on the bike. Whereas now it's like, have my phone, sit down.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly
I think that's to me it causes more stress in your life. So when that kid's on there, he's got more pent-up aggression the next day at school, and it's just, you know, I don't know really where I'm going with it, but you get where I'm coming from, right?
You're bang on, though. You are bang on.
Yeah.
I mean, the world today, there should be more, not so much boxing gyms, but there should be more, what was it called when we were at Clubhouse?
Like youth club.
Youth club.
Yeah.
There's hardly any of them now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Do you know what? Youth club. I never actually went to a youth club, but youth club was like one of them things that was around. But it was one of them things that I always felt like I'd get to. My dad always used to say to me, I'll get you in a youth club, but I was doing football training at the time or whatever else, so I never kind of got around to it. But youth clubs were big, man. Like I don't, not from personal experience, but a lot of my mates went to youth clubs, and they was like, they got up to sort of mischief at them, if you like. Not naughty stuff, but like, you know, they was fucking around with a teacher or something there.
Exactly that. You think Lion Boys Amateur Boxing Club, it was called Lion Boys Amateur, but it was called Lion Club.
Right.
it was a football. It was like all the kids, all girls, all go there. Or everyone would go get all the kids off the street. There was no more kids on the street.
Right.
They'd all be in there, and then upstairs was a football little pitch.
Right, that's cool.
So then you buy your little sweets. Like back then, we used to get like buy a 3p penny, like get your pennies, and I used to buy little sweets. And you used to think you was a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, right.
But now you can't like. That is all gone.
Right.
They took that away from the kids of today.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what I used to get as well. Like, you know, sometimes you just hang out with your mates just about, and it was getting dark, and you're supposed to go home. It's like, I'll give 5 minutes, and you get told, or whatever the situation. But you'd also see kids sort of hanging around and doing like the smoking thing. Now, from my knowledge, not that they necessarily were, but you'd look at them kids like, oh, fucking bum, I don't want to hang around with them anyway. Do you know what I mean? Whereas nowadays, I feel like there's sort of the computer generation. Or the sort of naughty kid generation. Do you see what I mean? There's no sort of... I'm probably wrong on this, but there doesn't seem to be much of a middle ground.
No, exactly that.
Like, I was somewhere in the middle. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wasn't a bad kid by any means.
Back then, you sitting on the corner street having a fag, you was a twat.
Right.
Now you're the cool kid.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right.
Sitting on the corner having a fag, and I want to go and sit with them.
Right, because you're posting it on social media. Like, look at me.
It's the world we live in now. It's absolutely bonkers.
But I think it's a pendulum, right? It'll come back. It goes one way and it comes back.
Well,
do you know
I
what
like to think it will come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to think that we'll start getting a bit more respect for our kids to start respecting our...
Because I'll tell you one thing I notice as well, and I think a lot of generations say this, but it's the way I see it now, is like kids like that when they're sort of 15, 16, and it's not all of them, but certain pockets of them, they seem a lot younger than sort of what the people when I was 15, 16 were. That might just be perception, because they might look to me at that age as young, and you think you're older than you are. But like a 15, 16-year-old for the most part now seems still like a kid, right? Whereas I don't think it used to be that way. But I don't say that with much confidence. But
no, totally. Like, you think when we was growing up, God, like I left school at 13.
Did you? Yeah.
I was even though I was short, but I was like a little man.
Right.
And you learn to. My dad went, right, you'll come. When I got kicked out of school for fighting, and my dad went, right.
Total shocker.
Yeah. So my dad went, right, you're coming to work with me then. So, what do you mean? You think you're going to sit indoors and not do nothing?
Yeah. Get in the van.
Exactly that. 5 o'clock in the morning, get in the back of the van, and I'm talking not in the seat. Yeah. You're getting in the back of the van where all the paint pots are.
Yeah.
And you get out, look like you've just done a day's work already. And then, and it was like, you're going to be, my old man, give it to me, like.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But do you know what? It moulded me into being the man I am today. Right. You respect that.
Yeah, and it makes you never want to do it again, right?
No, but do you know what? No, it does two things, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to do it again. Yeah. Or it was like, do you know what? I want to go work with because they treated me like a fella.
Well, it's funny you say that. Actually, do you know what? You're right, because I think this for a while, because I left school at 15, right? Yeah. Not because I left young, but because I'm young in my year, so I was sort of 4 months off of being 16 or whatever. But I was the same. I went to work with my dad, laying exhibition flooring. Yeah. Same thing in the back with the flooring, all that kind of stuff. But like for a while, like you say, it is like, this is fucking great. I'm with all the like 40-year-old fellas on the thing, having banter. They're talking about dirty things and whatever. You've got money, your mates ain't, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then I found about a year after, when the novelty's worn off, I'm like, this ain't for me now. I don't want to do this. I fucking hate this.
You start to outgrow your dad, didn't you?
Well, like, it's not funny when it's your dad. He's one of the boys, but like when he's your dad and he's telling you what to do still, it comes a bit like...
That was the problem. I go work with my dad, he'd tell me what to do.
Right.
I go home, I'm living with my dad still, then he'll tell me what to do. Right. You know what I mean? And then you're like, you really are starting to piss me off now. So I was like, I've got to move out. You know what I mean? So like, I'm 16, 17, I'm like, to my uncle, I'm like, or my nan and granddad, I'm like, can't move in my use. And then because my dad was like, right, you got to give your mum allowance every week now. So I was like 13, getting 300 quid a week. So I was like, I was getting looked after.
And again, this is back a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like £300 then's worth what? 5, 6 now?
Yeah, and I used to go out when we school, they're finishing school, and I'm going out with them, like we're hanging out after.
Right. And you're paying for things, right?
Yeah.
Because I used to do that. Cinema was my thing. I used to pay for cinema because my mates was at college and they didn't have any money, so I'd pay for the cinema. Never paid me back, by the way. Now I'm skint, they don't help me out.
Yeah, and I was like, don't worry, I've got this, you know what I mean? I was like, but you just... And then Dad was like, I remember we was working at Palm Beach Casino in Green Park, near the Ritz Hotel. Mm-hmm. And Friday night, my dad paid me 300 quid, and I walked into the post office, and I bought a scratch card. And the fella went, "Are you old enough?" I was like, "Yeah." I went, "Got paint on me? I'm working." Yeah. I'm just short from my eyes. So anyway, he gave me it. I scratched his card, and 150 quid on his scratch card.
Ah, right? Another half week's wages, man.
Right, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Because then I thought, I'm going to win this more. So I spent all my week's wages and that 150 quid on buying more scratch cards, and lost everything. So this is Friday, and then we're getting on the train. I went, "Dad, you lent me 50 quid." He went, "What you done with your wages? Where's your wages?" I went, "Spunked it." And he went, "Do." Yeah, so yeah, it was
not a good ride home, that one.
He went, "Don't talk to me." Yeah, so
funny times though, aren't they, when you look back on that stuff. The things you do when you're that age, when you're on building sites too, because like I had similar experiences in terms of like when I was still 15, you had to be 16 to be on the site, and I'd always get pulled up because I looked 15, right? I'd always get pulled up on the thing, or maybe I looked just about old enough. People was like weren't sure, and like that was always a thing. Like I remember being at Chelsea Flower Show once. We was doing the floors there, and I walked in, and the guy went like, "Have you got ID?" I said, "No." "What? You know, what for?" Like, "I'm working, like same as you. Like I've got look."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But you got to be 16 to be on this site." And I was like, "Well, I am 16. He said, "What's your date of birth?" And I went, and I said it, but there was a pause that was a little bit long, and he went,
because he puts you on the spot.
He kind of like sucked his lip, and he did let me in, but he was like,
"Oh." So when he's going like that.
Yeah, one year back, I was like, "Fuck's sake." Yeah, but funny times when you look back.
Do you know what though? I wouldn't change, as silly as it sounds. Like someone asked me this the other day, and I was like, "Would you change anything? Have you got any regrets?" And like, I've lost everything, come back and got everything, and they said to me, "Would you change anything?" And I'm like, "Do you know what? I wouldn't change nothing."
When you look back, they're funny, aren't they? Like we just said.
Do you know what? I've had such a good life.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one that I had funny story briefly from the building site. We was laying at exhibition flooring once outside Buckingham Palace, right? And this was I must have been 18-ish. And I had a big black eye from boxing, so I look a state anyway, right? I'm outside on the thing, and the two blokes I'm working with, one was probably 40-ish at the time, the other one would have been like in his mid-50s. Ronnie, bless him, rest in peace, he's no longer with us. But they was always bickering each other, constant, like non-stop. Like if I said that's red, you go, "No, it ain't fucking blue. Shut up." You know, it was like that kind of relationship. But they one morning cut it like this. "No, I cut it my way." He always fucking like throwing the hammer, and they're going off, and they're having a fight, right? And so I've jumped in the way. I'm breaking it up. The foreman on the site, like I've got a big black eye, breaking this fight up between these two men. 8 o'clock in the morning, right? The foreman's like, "Come, boys, what the fuck? We're outside Buckingham Palace." But this is funny times from the past, isn't it? But that's how it goes. But take us to when you moved to America, mate. Like you said, you moved to America. Like, what's the decision like at that point? Are you like, right, this is it, I'm changing my life?
I was on social media, and Jeff Mayweather messaged me, and I said, "Jeff, I'm going to come out and see you soon." He went, "We've been following each other for last 5 years, George. Every year you've said to me, I'm coming out to see you."
And how did that hook up originally? How did you two start chatting?
Facebook.
Just
Facebook,
right.
Yeah, it's all right. He had him up, and I was like, that can't be the real Jeff, because he's added me. Like,
right.
You know, how silly things that it plays with your mind. So he was like, "Listen, I've watched you." He went, "I'm a big fan of you." He went, "I love it." Yeah, and I'm like, "Really?" Yeah. I just thumbs up. And so then I went, like, it ain't cheap to be living in Las Vegas.
And can you even just, like, what's the situation with that? How did you go about moving there?
Yeah, so I thought, I ain't got backing, like I ain't got the millions that I used to have. Right. I ain't got that kind of money no more.
Yeah, right.
I can't just pop up and go and like, "Hey, come on, kids, missus."
Have you got kids and a missus at this point?
Yeah,
as well?
I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
So
wow.
So I went. So at the time, we only had 3. Like,
but that's massive, isn't it? Like 3 kids to look after.
Yeah,
fuck me to just disappear.
But I stood there, and then also I get Jeff phones me on Facebook messenger thing.
Yeah.
Calls me like, so listen, I want to do bits with you. Are you going to come out here? And I'm like, well, I'm just filming from my documentary and doing bits here. And he was like, he just said blatantly, he went, "Listen, no bullshit." He went, "If you want to come out here, come out here." Yeah. So then I can't say her name for legal reasons at the moment. I went, "Oh," and she contacted me because she see us messaging on social media. So she messaged me saying, "I think I can help you. I've got a couple of backers that can back you to go out there." Huh. I went, "Really?" She went, please come and meet. So me and my uncle went and met them up in Manchester. We went and met them all the team went up there. And it was all to do with like Bitcoin, all this like silly fucking money going.
Wow.
Sorry to keep swearing. Sorry.
No, so it's good, man. You're good.
Yeah, so next minute, May the 12th, 13th, they went, right, we're going out to Vegas to meet the Mayweathers, get everything signed and sealed. I went, really? Bam, like the following Monday, we were on a flight going to Las Vegas, meeting the Mayweathers, getting everything signed and sealed.
Who's we? Is this you and the family or just you?
No, just me at the time. Me and the team. Like
the boxing team.
Yeah, the boxing team, like the boxing fund, should we call it. So we've all gone and we've all met and because everyone's earning out of it. Not just me.
Of course, yeah, you've got a few more friends at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So the money that I earn goes back into the pot and makes the Bitcoin and the rest of the coin more money. So everyone's earning more money out of it.
Right, okay.
So everything was, and then that was in May, and then in say June, July, the missus and the kids start coming out. So I'm living out there already.
Damn.
And I had a luxury, like I lived across the road, and everyone, they had this great big pillar there, and everyone kept coming, mainly the Chinese, kept going up to this pillar, selfies, bam, signing it, and I was like, what the hell is so good about this pillow? It's just a pillow, like a concrete pillow. Yeah. And everyone was like, do you not know what that is? I was like, no, that's why I'm asking you. They was like, that's where Tupac got killed.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're living right there.
I was like, right outside my house. I was like, are you being serious? They was like, yes. I was like, shit, I better go and have a picture.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, it was mad. It was just a mad, and then it was silly things like, so Mrs. then comes out, and I said, look, should we get the baby looked after? We had a chauffeur driver out there called Andrea. She was a Mexican lady, lovely, lovely lady. And she was like, listen, I'll look after the kid, like your baby, and you just go out and have a meal. So, but Americans are, in my head, Americans are a bit crackers, right? In a nice way, possible way. Yeah? So me and the missus are sitting down, and this fella's got like one arm, but won't stop staring at me. So I went, babe, let's finish our drink and we'll get out of here. When that fella won't stop staring at me, it's made me feel a bit uncomfortable. And I went, we're out here. I went, I don't want to be kicking off and all that. She's like, oh, stop it, you're getting paranoid. So we get up, as we're walking out, this fella went, excuse me, English voice. He went, are you George Hillyard? So anyway, we sat down with him. What a nice fella. Such an old fella. So, and she's like, he's a proper gentleman. So anyway, we're like, listen, we've got to go now, mate. We've got to get back to the kids. And he went, listen, I'm performing tomorrow night. As soon as he said that, I thought, I recognise you. So I'm like, I'm looking at him, he went, so who do you think has got one arm?
Go on.
The drummer from Def Leppard.
Oh, right. I wasn't thinking of that angle. Okay. Yeah.
So the drummer from Def Leppard, like, the next minute they're giving us all VIP tickets.
Damn.
And then we're going to the concert with them, take my little boy, put his little headphones on, they're playing all the, like, and the crowd, it was mental. In front of like 30,000 people. Damn. And he's just giving us all this, and then we're going backstage with them all, and it was just...
And he knew who you were before, which is mad, isn't it?
Like, he knew me, but it was mad.
Yeah.
Then they went, I burst out crying. He went, I'll tell you what, if it's not your next fight, the fight after, he went, we'll sing you out. I just burst out crying. I was like, this would never happen if it was in the UK.
You're cool, imagine.
Yeah. You know what I mean? This would never happen. I was having a tantrum. This would never happen. I mean, only in America this would happen. Right? And it was just, just silly things like that though. It was like, even living in New York, you walk down the street and you get like The Rock, just walking down the street and no one bothered him.
What? Really?
The wrestler.
That's mad, yeah. No one.
And then I'm sitting there, I'm in Gleason's gym at the time, and then the wrestler walks in. You know, Mickey Rourke.
Oh yeah, because he boxed, didn't he, back in the day? He had some pro fights, yeah.
Right? And he come in, he went, let's have a picture. And he went, mate, you're mustard. He went, keep at it. Right? So I was just like, this is. Then he went to me, are you going to the GG fight in Monte Carlo? I went, yeah. He went, I'm going as well. He went, I'll call you when I get there. All right, yeah, right, mate. He went, no, give me your number. He went, I'll call you when I get there. Mind blowing. Yeah. So obviously I get to Monte Carlo, totally forgot about Mickey Rourke. I'm sitting ringside with all the group that we've gone to, and then my phone goes, like American number. Mickey Rourke. Like, hey, he went, look across the ring. I'm like, what? I look across the ring, he's like, I'm sitting there thinking, mate, this is just mad story.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
this wouldn't happen. All this wouldn't happen if it was in the UK.
Nah.
But in America, it just seems like it happened.
That's funny. That's really
You know what I
funny.
mean? Like, it's just mad.
So when you go to America, I'm assuming like your mind is, I'm going to be world champion and this is the life I'm going to live forever, right? Yeah. Was you planning on staying in America? And that was...
everything was going too good, to be honest, yeah.
Really, yeah.
So we was in bed, and Americans they're different to how the English, like the English knock on your door, Americans don't. They just slip a note under my door.
Right, okay, yeah.
Put a note under it saying, because of COVID, there's like your sports visa doesn't allow you to stay here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it went in a nice, polite way, fuck off.
Right. Wow.
I went, if Jeremy Beadle was still alive, I was expecting him to jump back and go, hey, I'm only joking, you know what I mean? And I went, look, Americans are trying to be funny, like having a bit of banter with us. And then I opened the door, and there was like two men in a suit. I was like, listen, mate, we're going to book your flights. I was like, what? So I phoned my mum up. I was like, Mum, what? I went, they're sending me back home because of COVID. Mum was like, what you want about, George? It weren't even in the UK.
Was this before they'd locked everything down type
This is
time?
just before, this is around August, the beginning of September.
Right.
Nothing's in the UK. Mum's like, what you want about, George? I went, COVID? She went, George, COVID was in the 70s. You weren't even born. I was like, Mum, there's COVID in America. And she was like, what are you on about all this? I went, they're sending us back home. She's like, all right, shut up. Right, she thought it was a joke.
How long have you been in America at this point?
7 months.
Right, so you're settled in, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm settled. I've got luxury. We've got a lovely place here. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, booked our flights. We were on our way home. And as we land back, obviously the beginning of September, and then the end of beginning of October, they were like started talking about COVID. I was like, see, this is what's happening in America. And next minute we're in lockdown.
Damn.
It was mad. It was just like.
And what are the kids like? Are the kids like, Dad, fuck, like this is our life?
Only my youngest one come out there.
Oh,
I
see.
My two eldest were still at school.
How old were the eldest at the time?
13 and 15.
Yeah,
so they're still so they and obviously they're from my previous.
Right.
So yeah, they stayed there, but it was mad.
Right. Wow.
Like, and then next minute they went, we're freezing all your bank account.
What? How's that work?
Americans, I said, they are.
Well, because your money's in America, they're like it's ours.
Yeah, because I've got to chase an American bank account, and they went, so you don't get done for money laundering and all like because I transferred money from Chase to PayPal. Right. And they were like, why are you doing that?
Right. Ooh.
To pay my rent. And I was like, yeah, but it looks like you're money laundering. I was like, because I was getting paid from sponsors. Yeah, right. So, and I started transferring it everywhere else, so I didn't have to keep paying the exchange rate. Right. So there's me thinking I'm being clever. They're like, no, you're money laundering. I'm like, I ain't money laundering. I'm just trying to not pay things. Like, like if you get where. And then, so they blocked our account, and I'm like, how are we going to get home then? And then Michelle, ringing Michelle's brother up to say, can you pay for our flights? I'll give you the money when I get back in the UK.
Fuck, that's a bit like overnight. That's like a.
It was so dramatic. Yeah. And I mean, and Michelle was like, we was looking at each other. Was like, is this real? Like, was this? Is it? I said I was expecting Jeremy Beadle to jump out. If he weren't dead, I was expecting him to jump out. You know what I mean? Go, hey, it's only a wind up. Yeah. It was just mad. It was mad. Yeah. And you
come straight back home and. We're in lockdown then, so...
And, as we got back, literally 2-3 weeks later, it was like lockdown.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was in America, like, before the lockdowns. Yeah. I was in Colorado, training, and I came home, and the week after I came home, I think they went into lockdown. Yeah. And they was like, I was speaking to people I've been with out there, and they were like, it's crazy, we can't go out. And you know when you like look at things and you go, it won't come to England. It doesn't sort of happen here. But then 1 or 2 weeks later, we was in the same situation.
It was just mad. And obviously, the week before that, like everyone's seeing all over social media. It's me, Tyson Fury. Like I'm with all the team. We're because he's boxing out there, so I've got ringside seats for him, and all everyone's seeing is me with the Tyson. All the sponsors all around, all like the Mayweathers, it's just us all walking around Vegas, giving it large.
Yeah.
Promoting I'm trying to jump on the bandwagon of being promoting myself.
Yeah.
It was just a mad time, and then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, fuck you, get home, mate.
Thanks, George.
You've had a good time.
Exactly.
I'm letting you enjoy yourself anymore.
But that's mad, and we'll come to that in a minute. But like, if we go back a bit, like when you get to America, do you have any fights in America while you was out there?
No, just
didn't get there. Yeah, just training and stuff, getting ready. But like, what's the situation like after that? Because obviously lockdown now, as we're sitting here, is like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you still not allowed to America, or how does that work?
I know. We're allowed to go back there now.
Right.
So
Okay.
I can't say, but.
Yeah, no, that's all right. You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to say nothing.
I should be fighting out there in December.
Pro fight.
Yeah,
pro
fight. Yeah,
good.
with gloves. So, and because obviously now I'm still doing the bare knuckle as well.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm signed with BKB that have just bought BYB.
Right.
So we're doing a crossover where in the triangle now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we fight America where the last one was here in the UK.
Yeah.
When I was meant to box a Mexican, and then now they're doing it in the not Kilcardy, bloody hell, Kentucky.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so
Yeehaw, down south. That's why they do it in them states, isn't it? You're allowed to get away with it.
Yeah, they're doing it. So
that, mate, I tell you what, for life experience, going and having a bare knuckle fight in Kentucky, that's pretty good, isn't it?
And I said, look, people keep thinking that you're a thug and all that, and all you know how to do is fight. Not at all. We're actually quite intelligent people. Yeah. Right? We've got good things all set up, and I mean, it's just just brilliant to be. I love it.
And are you doing the 5-2s? Is it the 5 2-minute rounds?
Yeah. So they do 5-3s now.
Do they do 5-3s? Ooh.
So it's 5-3s, and if it's for a title, it's 7-3s.
That's a long time with bare knuckle, isn't it?
In bare knuckle, yeah. So that's why they can't go.
They don't do 12.
No,
people's faces would be falling off, wouldn't
they?
You'd look at stuff. Well, people do anyway. Like when Paulie Malignaggi fought.
Well, he's now fighting.
He's fighting Tyler Goodjohn, soon.
Goodjohn,
yeah. Over here, that is, isn't it? That's in like, where is that? It's like Bristol or something,
Leeds.
isn't it? Leeds, is that right? Okay.
So I'll get tickets for that. We'll go up there.
Done. We're there. I'm in for that. Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to get Tyler on. I was in the gym the other day. I was doing Danny McLaren. I don't know if you know Danny McLaren. Yeah, he was on the podcast, and Tyler was in the room and stuff. So hopefully we get him on. I didn't want to bother him now because he's got a fight coming up.
Listen, Tyler's brilliant.
He was a nice guy. I don't know him. I said hello and that, but like, you know, when you don't, he's got a fight coming up. I don't want to bother him and like, come on the podcast.
No, but listen, he's brilliant, mate.
Brilliant,
and
nice.
he loves all this podcast.
Does he? Yeah,
just
good.
like I do.
Good.
Because he helps sell us.
Yeah. Do you know the boys down at Clout in Kingston, where Danny McLaren's at?
I don't know all the boys.
Right, Danny McLaren. I was going to say, because the other boys in there, like Luke and Lou, I used to box them in the amateurs, so I've known them since I'm a teenager. Do you know what I mean? That's how I've got the connection in there and stuff. So shout out to Clout and Kingston.
Yeah, so because I boxed a couple of boys on Kingston in the ABAs. Tyler Goodjohn, I think he's at is it called Box? He's training.
Yeah, that's where he's training. It's now Clout. It was Kingston Boxing Club. It's rebranded, so it's called Clout.
Is that where he does
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. That's where I saw him. That's where he was with the podcast.
He's based himself in Finsbury Park now, isn't he?
Is that right? I'm not sure. As I say, I don't know him. I met him. Say hello. You know.
He lives up near Martin. He lives out just past me.
Oh, does he? I was going a long way to get there.
Yeah.
Then.
So, but he's moved down to Finsbury Park.
Right.
And then got all his bits going on the city.
Good on him.
This is his last fight now.
That's it, yeah, okay. That's his last one.
Good luck to him. Cause
good luck, yeah.
It sets him up now. It sets him up for a little.
Well, Paulie Malignaggi, that's like, for anyone who doesn't know, Paulie Malignaggi, legitimate world boxing champion. Fought Ricky Hatton, fought Amir Khan, Cotto. Like, if you go back sort of, I mean, I was going to say 10 years, more than that now, say 15, 20 years, he was like, you know, he was
in the pound for pound.
Pound for pound. And I believe, here's the thing, I'll ask you this as well, it'd be interesting to hear your opinion. I really believe that when he was in his day, his issue was his punching power, right? Or lack of, right? He wasn't a puncher. But if he was a big puncher, I think he'd have been one of the pound for pound top guys in the world.
Billion percent.
Yeah.
Billion percent. That is all. One thing he did lack is he was such a slick boxer.
Yeah.
Great feet work, great hand speed.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing about him as well, he's a great talker.
Yeah.
So he sold himself.
Yeah.
But what he lacked on was punching power.
I think in all of his wins, I believe, if I'm wrong, it's only by a couple of fights. He's only got about 5 knockouts on his record, right? Out of
they weren't
20
knockouts.
odd wins.
They weren't knockouts.
They're stoppages,
They were just where, you know, when someone's taking so much punishment.
Yeah, they stop him.
That referee's like, listen, I can't let you take this punishment.
But if you look back in the day when he fought Cotto back in the day, like that was like he had his face blown up, like stayed in, like.
And it just proves like, man, he's got absolute
animal, balls of steel, and like you know, I think people forget that, and I don't think he does himself any favours to be fair. The way he talks, because he can be quite annoying, right? And he upsets people. So what happens is people go, "Oh fuck him, he was never that good anyway," and it tarnishes what you were. But listen, at one time he was, I don't want to say the man, but he was one of the top guys in the world.
Once again, a lot of us boxers end up doing that.
Right.
Because we think, a lot of us just tell it how it is, and a lot of the public go, after a while, you start off good, and then you think, do you know what, I'm going to just keep going. Yeah. And you end up spoiling it for yourself. Yeah, and then when people go, do you know what, now shut up because you're boring me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then I've done it. Yeah. And a lot of us boxers do it. But
I think it's the camera that does it, right? Because if me and you sat here now and you're ranting and raving, we're in front of each other. Yeah. You kind of get the context, don't you? Whereas if someone watches it, they go, that geezer's a fucking dickhead because he just keeps talking. But it's not, you know.
Do you know what though? And I've learnt this over the years. It doesn't matter whether you're doing good or bad. Someone's going to have a compliment, something to say about it. Doesn't matter what it is, right. Good or bad. Yeah. Someone's going to say something about it. Yeah. You could do the best thing in the world. Someone's going to have a negative on it. Right, it doesn't matter. That's what it's. And as Barry Earns used to say, like, you need that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People are watching, don't they? That means people are watching.
Exactly. And I remember him. He said, "You can't be liked."
Mm-hmm. That's like, interesting.
What? Mm-hmm. He meant you have to be loved or hated. Everyone hated Prince Naseem Hamed. Yeah. Chris Eubank, they hated him. Yeah. But what did they do? Bought a ticket to see him get beat.
Yeah. That's true. Right? That's a good point, isn't it?
Right. But they love Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. They went, if they like you, they go, oh, yeah, he's a nice fella. Yeah. Forget about you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And it is. So
don't be liked, be loved or hated. I like that. That's really good.
So it's a bit like a panto.
Yeah.
So you have to be booed or cheered. You can't be... like, oh yeah, he's a nice fella. Because when they go, nice fella, they forget about you.
Yeah.
Just they love you. Yes, and it's like...
It's a good point now, isn't it? And it's also, I'll tell you, the two you brought up as well, that they hated Eubank and Naseem. Yeah. They did, big time. I remember when I was a kid, I think when Naseem lost to Barrera, I would have been about 11, somewhere 10 or 11.
Right, so I'll tell you the story now. Go on. So for that... I've done the 7-Up advert with Prince Naseem Hamed. So if you see the 7-Up advert, and all you see though is my hands throwing at his face trying to hit him, and he's just doing all the dance moves, and that was me. Yeah, so we were in studio doing all and then he goes with a glove on with a 7-Up advert going. It was like a cheesy advert, but this was what 2000? Yeah. Or 2001? Might have been that.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It was like. But that's, you know what I mean? It was just, but once again, he's a really nice fella.
Yeah, everyone says that.
As soon as the camera comes on, he turns into this character.
Yeah, but everyone says that. I've never met anyone that's met him in person that's got anything other than he's great.
Same as Mayweather though.
Really? Mayweather, that's even more surprising.
No, but once again, as soon as the camera comes on,
it's an act, right?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Do you know why? Because it sells.
Yeah.
That's why he said. That's why I call myself the money man.
Right.
Because he went, George, you have to be a product, and he went, that product has to sell. You can't just have a product and leave it on the shelf when no one's going to buy it.
Wow, yeah. Right? I mean, in terms of making money, he's probably number one of all time boxing wise, isn't he? Like he's mental money.
I think he's the richest boxer.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
he's got a billionaire.
Yeah, and he's probably the only one that's earned mega bucks that ain't blown it as well, isn't he? Because they all blow it.
Even now.
Yeah.
I mean, he only has to He has to walk into a room and you see the atmosphere that he brings.
Really, yeah. I bet there is.
He's like you can't knock him.
Have you seen him up close boxing and stuff?
Yeah, cool.
Have you been in a ring with him? You sparred with him?
No, I ain't sparred or nothing like that with him. But just in his presence, the only thing I find a bit cheesy is obviously when he has an entourage of 60 men.
60?
6 Rolls Royces everywhere they go. Ugh. 10 men in each car.
Shit.
And I don't mean, remember, Floyd's smaller than me. Yeah. And I ain't big. Yeah. And these men are huge.
Are they? Yeah. You see them, don't they? You see them on TV, the big guys.
They stop all because believe it or not, it's mad how people they all want to swamp.
Yeah.
I mean, his presence is It's like, you can't, like, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and listen, people can say what they want. 50-0 is 50-0, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a couple of fights in there that are questionable, that could have gone the other way.
Exactly.
Don't matter. Listen, I don't care. 50-0 is 50-0, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? In a sport like that, come on.
Exactly that. And best thing he'd done is he managed himself. Mm-hmm. He picked his own. He's very, very smart. You can't knock him for a man that can't read and write.
Is that legit? You can't read and write?
Yeah, he can't read and write. You know what I mean? So,
people say that, but you don't know if that's a spoof. But he can. He can't read and write.
Right. Like, that's why he has the big man with I forgot his name now. That does all these contracts.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
And he pays him.
You're talking about Ellaby, Leonard Ellaby.
That's it. And he helps run the Mayweather camp.
Yeah.
I mean.
But listen, can't read or write, but he can box.
Who cares if you can read and write?
Don't matter, does it?
Pay someone to do it.
That's it. Look how successful he is. It just shows you, doesn't it?
Pay someone to do it.
I think that's a good point there. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't learn to read and write, of course you. But like, what people put importance on. Like, look how successful he is. He can't even fucking read and write. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
Richard Branson, same.
Is that right? Really? Richard Branson can't read or write?
Dyslexic. Yeah, he can't read and write.
Maybe that's the secret. Maybe me and you should not read or write and we'll be more successful.
I ain't a great reader and writer anyway, so... You know what I mean?
That's where I'm going wrong. I can read and write. I can be successful.
All right, don't show off.
But like with now going forward, like you're, as I said to you, you said to me earlier, you still want to box, you still want to fight and stuff like that.
Totally. But listen, it might be my next fight or it might be the fight. I go, do you know what? I'm done now.
Right.
But because I still, the fire's still burning, I still feel like I've got something in the tank. And I've got... As I said, I want to finish off my documentary. I want to finish off the biography, sorry, not auto. But yeah, I want to finish all that off, get it all done, help set my kids up. I mean, like, more than what we've done already. I mean, and there's things already, just...
Good on you, man,
and start training, helping bring up the next generation.
Yeah, and when you fight now, like, sitting here with me today, how much do you weigh?
Right now, 80 kilo.
81 kilo. 81 kilo. And would you want to box at as your best weight still now?
The next fight, and I can't mess about. If I'm going to do this seriously now, for the next bits, I've got to be around 70, between 70 and 73.
Yeah. That's a sensible weight, though, isn't it? And that's not too difficult, right? I mean, it's hard to get to, but
for that last fight, I'm 83 kilo now.
Yeah.
And my last fight, I was 100. I started training at 101 kilos,
which is massive, isn't it? Massive.
I mean, I had massive set of tits on me.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than the missus.
And what was that? Just like chilling out, eating what you want, doing nothing?
It's just me being unprofessional.
Yep.
Me being in that depressing mode again where, don't worry, I can... But as you get older, you can't lose weight like you used to lose weight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And I'll tell you what's interesting about being older, right? Do you feel like your body slowed down at all or not yet?
Not so much I've slowed down. The only thing that's slowed down is losing weight-wise.
Right. But you don't feel any different in terms of energy and recoveries and stuff?
You see me in the bag and I can mix it with anyone.
Right.
But as soon as that does, then that's me to...
That's time to stop.
I'm not... Listen, one thing I'm not is silly.
Yeah.
I mean, so I know people like, oh, George, you're 40 now, just retire and like sit with your kids. I'm like, listen, I've got some bits I want to achieve. Let me achieve them. I mean... And then I'm done.
You can't leave it before you're ready to, I believe.
Exactly.
Because you know what?
Do you know what then I'll end up doing? As I get, if I walk away now and I'm unhappy with things, I'll make my kids' life unhappy.
Right, and you'll be sitting there at 50, like, too late.
Exactly, and then saying, do you know what? Becoming jealous of your own kids because you see them doing something.
Yeah, that's a shit place to be, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's a shit place to be.
I don't want to be that man.
Nah, the miserable old dad sitting in the corner.
That.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Now, I enjoy my kids, I have fun and we do everything together.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't want to be going, do you know what?
Yeah.
Becoming jealous of my kids. That's not going to be me.
No.
I mean, so I'm going to chase what I want to do until I'm done now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
brilliant.
It's
Brilliant.
I mean,
Well, mate, listen, this has been fantastic. I really appreciate your time. Great to, I met you briefly the other day. Nah, brilliant. But before we finish, mate, I always ask the most important question. Bear in mind, you come from Canning Town. You might give me the wrong answer on this one. Which football team you support?
Proper team, West Ham.
I told you to give me the wrong answer, didn't I? Correct answer is Chelsea. Never mind. I've been on a three time in a row. I've had people say Chelsea, and you've just fucked it for us. But never mind. We're on West Ham now.
Proper team.
Next person on, please bring it back to us. But mate, as I say, thank you very much. I always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom.